Hello, everybody. So this presentation is to show you a PowerPoint presentation that I created for the Module 1 activity. So this is the first page, and the idea is that this presentation is to take my students from the fixed mindset to a growth mindset. So first, I plan to show them this video. So this video is basically a video that talks about growth mindset and fixed mindset. And I've seen and this the reason why I like this video is because it uses illustrations, and I find that the speaker is very clear and concise, and they give some really good examples to help illustrate the difference between the fixed and the growth mindset. Following watching this video, is I want to set up small group discussions. And for each one, I'm going to give them 5 to 10 minutes to discuss the following questions. So this is the first question. And then here's the second one. Here's the third one. And here's the fourth one. And the idea of these questions is to help them think about the growth mindset, think about the fixed mindset, maybe help them think about, experiences of each one, and basically to help them recognize. That's the main thing that I hope they take away from the video and from this discussion, is that they can recognize whether or not they have a fixed mindset in certain areas, etc., and how to potentially change that mindset, and what a different mindset may look like. Next is the transition from that growth mindset to a learner's mindset. And the learner's mindset, part of how it is ignited is to create an environment where we give the students the ability to have autonomy, to have ownership, etc. So one of the ways that I want to introduce that into the class is by starting with the why. So I want to start a full class discussion examining, why are the students in this course? Why did they choose the course? Or why was it recommended to them by other people? Hopefully, by reflecting on the reasons why they're in the course, it can help them create motivation, and it can help them create a sense of purpose instead of just passing time in the course. I also want to create a class contract with my students. I hope that the class contract wherein the students decide what are the good desirable behavior that the class should collectively agree upon. I hope that this allows them to take more ownership, to have more participation in the class, versus if I just establish the rules, then like for some people, by giving them rules, it automatically creates a rebellious mindset. So I'm hoping that by allowing the students to choose the rules they want to abide by, it can help establish a more positive and more participatory, student-centered learning environment for them. And then I also want to incorporate what I call free practice time. So in the class, they are learning software. And I will give them little exercises, but at the end of each software module, I want them to do, like, spend time to create a document using the software and the learning that they've learned. And I want them to have the choice as to what document it is. I also want them to have the choice as to whether they want to work on it solo or work on it on a group. And hopefully by doing that, it will encourage them to be more motivated and to participate in the activity. This is a slide that basically is meant to help people who might be struggling, as to what to choose, etc. And then to allow for self-assessment, I've basically chose two ways to help students develop self-assessment skills. First is after the big module exercise, I want them to give themselves or their group a score based on this criteria. And then at the end of the course, I want them to also do a short self-reflection. And both of these self-assessment techniques are hopefully ways for them to think more critically about the learning activity, to think about what worked for them, what didn't work for them, and so that they can have a better, develop a better mindset when they are approaching the next activity or approaching the next part of their, what they do after the course. So thank you for listening to me with this presentation. I hope some of you have found it useful. I'm looking forward to your feedback. Thank you. Bye.